Welcome students in today's video. In the previous video we have discussed what is principles of management. So principle of management already we have discussed. The principle of management are the guidelines which are useful or which are helpful for a manager to do the management. So let us recall first. This I have made the chart that every organization has some goals to be achieved, and that for achieving that goals every manager have to follow some functions of management, and in order to perform these functions of management effectively and to implement them properly, some principle of management have to be followed. And principle of the two persons have given different principle of management, that is Fayol's principle and Taylor's principle. Fayol's principles are applicable in office and administration work, whereas Taylor's principle will be applicable in the technical field. This is all what we have discussed in the previous video. So now we will start here with the Fayol's principle. Fayol's have given altogether 14 principles of management. Fayol's principles are generally applicable in the administration work. Suppose if I will tell you the bank, under bank Fayol's principle will be applicable. Then school, big companies, everywhere Fayol's principles are applicable, and Taylor's principle will be applicable only in the technical field or the areas where the production activities are happening. So Fayol is also known as father of general management. This can become or this can be asked in the form of 1-mark question. So Henry Fayol is known as father of general management. This is an important point, that's why I have written in the with the red pen. Example, all organization wherein administration work happened, there Henry Fayol's principle have been followed, and Fayol have given 14 principles. So let us discuss one by one. First principle is division of work. From the name itself you clear that division of work. That means in an organization, whether I talk about bank, hospital, schools, any company, there are so many work have to be done. Let me take the example of bank. Suppose there is a bank. Whenever you have visited any bank, you have noticed that in the bank there are different counters have been made. One counter have been made for cash withdrawal, another counter have been made for the cash deposit, one counter have been made for the consumers or the clients redressal, means if they have any problem. Another one have been divided in the form of loan. Some department have made for demat account. So there are different work have to be done in the bank. Now you tell me, can one single person able to concentrate in the withdrawal counter also, deposit counter also, then ATM counter also, credit card counter, demat counter, so on? So there are so many works have to be done in the loan department. Can one person able to concentrate on all the work? Or my question is this one person or number of person are eligible or they are specialized in doing all this work? No. Here I will say a big no to this, because every person have different quality and every person is supposed to perform different work in an organization. So what Fayol has said that in an organization the total work have to be divided, and each respective work have to be given to different individuals who are specialists in doing that particular work. You can see this example is happening in our school also. For 12th commerce there are different subjects, like English also have to be taught, maths also have to be taught, accountancy, economics, business studies, computer science, physical education, Hindi. Can all this subject can be taught by single teacher? No. This total subject to be taught in 12th commerce have been divided, and each individual subject have been given to different persons who are specialists in doing this work. By doing this work, by dividing this work, what happened actually is, why Fayol have focused or suggested this division of work? Because when the work have been divided and that work have been given to the different person according to their capability, then there is a smooth flow of work. Why smooth flow of work? Because if work have been given to that person who knows how to do this work, then there will be no duplication of efforts, there will be no hit and trial method. He know how to do the work and he will repeatedly perform same work again and again and again and again, then automatically he will become a specialist of that work. That's why Fayol has suggested that the work should have to be divided, and the work should also have to be divided on the basis of qualification, and each person have been given the work according to his area or according to his specialization. This is what Fayol has suggested in the first principle of management. Second principle of management is authority and responsibility. Before understanding this principle, first meaning of authority is, authority means power or right to give orders. This power or right to give order is to be in the hand of superior. That means authority means power or right of a superior to give order to the subordinate, and responsibility means obligation. Obligation, can I say the other meaning of obligation? Obligation I can say as a duties or responsibility. Other name of obligation or duties is responsibility only. It is responsibility or obligation by subordinate. That means whatever the order is given by superior to subordinate, whatever the order is given by superior to subordinate, the subordinate will oblige or subordinate will become responsible for that much work. Here Fayol has suggested that authority should always equal to responsibility. Suppose a superior have given a subordinate to produce 10 units in a day. This is a authority given by superior to the subordinate. Then at the end of the day, subordinate is responsible for only for producing 10 units in a day, not more than that, not less than that. This is the principle of authority and responsibility. That means whatever the authority or powers are given by superior to the subordinate, subordinate is responsible for only that much work, not more than work, not less than that. That means when 10 units authority have been given by superior to subordinate, then he is responsible only for the 10 unit, not 9 nor 11. Clear? Now third principle is discipline. This is very obvious. Discipline means in an organization every person have to be disciplined while working. That means discipline means he have to follow the organizational rules and the work agreement which are necessary for working of the organization. And if in any case any employee is not able to fulfill this agreement or obligation or the rules, then that person will be charged as a penalty. Fine, maybe fine of a deduction of the salary, maybe fine in the form of any one day casual leave can be deducted. Any kind of penalties can be, fine can be imposed on the employees. This is the third principle given by Fayol. Next principle is unity of command. Command means orders and instruction. Unity means, you all know the meaning of unity. Unity means same command. Means if any employee is working, then the same command should have to be received by him. If he is working under two superior, then at one particular time only one superior is supposed to give orders or instruction to him. This I can explain you with the help of this example. Suppose A and B are two superior and C is working both under A or B. At the same time, if A is giving some order to C, and at the same time also, suppose A have given order to C that to produce 10 units in a day. At the same time, B came and give order to C that not produce 10 but to produce 11 units in a day. Then what will happen? C will get confused that whose order have to be followed. Whether if he will follow A's order, then B will get angry with him. If he will follow B's order, then A will get angry with him. So at this time what will happen? C will neither follow A's order or nor follow B order. When B will come and ask why you have not completed my task, he will say that A have given me some other work. When A will come, he will say B have given me other work. So ultimately work will not happen. That's why one instruction should have to be given, that is unity of command. Command means there should be unity in the order and instruction. That means whenever orders have to be given to C, first their orders have to be discussed by the superior, and same and unity order should be given to C, so that C will become obliged and it will become C's responsibility or duty to complete that task. Next is unity of direction. Many a time students get confused between unity of command and unity of direction. I'll make you clear. Command means orders and direction means your way of doing work. See, many a time it happen that you'll get order from different persons. It can happen in an organization. In every organization this thing is happening. You are receiving order from different persons. But the main thing is, whatever the orders you are getting, that orders should not contradict with each other, and that orders should move only in one direction, that is toward achieving the organizational goal. That is what unity of direction is. One head and one plan. All the units of an organization should be moving toward the same objective. If A is also giving order to C and B is also giving order to C, that means maybe their orders can be different, but their orders should be not contradicting each other, but their main aim is to achieve the organizational goal and not to make C confused. So this is what we have learned, 5 principles of management in today's video. We'll continue with other principle of management in the next video. So there are 5 principles of management. First is division of work. That means total work have to be divided and each work have to be given to different individual who is specialist in doing this work. Second, authority and responsibility. Authority means whatever the power is superior have given to subordinate. So subordinate will be responsible for only that orders, not more than that, not less than that. Discipline. Every employee in an organization should be disciplined. He should have to oblige, or he should have to follow the rules and regulation of an organization. If he is not following the rules and regulation, organization can charge some penalties upon him. Unity of command means every employee in an organization should receive order from only one person. Unity of direction means the person can receive order from 2 persons, but that orders should not be contradictory. Here the main difference is C is getting order from A and B both, but that orders are contradicting between each other. Here I am saying that he can receive order from 2, but that order should not contradict with each other. That is unity of command and unity of direction. That's all in today's video. We'll continue with some new things in the next video. Thank you so much.